Hey, Roncon. Wasn't saying that. Just saying it looks like your town planner had a stroke mid-town plan. It looks like he's going, and I put a railway station there, and then just fucking went everywhere. It's mental.
If it does feel like the place Liverpool has sent all its unwanted people to me.
Right.
I've said this before, the least attractive people in the world live in Runcorn.
Yeah, it's a weird town, man. It's honestly a weird... And there's some nice houses, but I know they're mega cheap. You know that type of vibe. When you look at a house, you go, that's a nice house. I bet that's worth nothing.
Yeah, because you must look at Runcorn and be like, listen, what am I going to do? Yeah. I'm going to do 2-bed flat in North London, or am I going to do this fucking hospital that I could just buy and live in like a king?
Yeah. But in Runcorn,
you're
the king of sand at that point, isn't it?
Whenever I tell a comic in London what I pay, so I live on my own in a 3-bedroom house in Liverpool, and I pay less than most comics pay for a fucking cupboard in a house share. It's
crazy.
In
Kensington. Actually, but then it's the same thing of like, you know, like not Liverpool ain't bad. I'm not shitting on Liverpool by any stretch of imagination, but it's not London, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think
I'd rather live in Liverpool, me though.
Yeah, that's because, you know, even though of course, with that accent though, like, we're me though. Like, you know, that's obviously a voice of a guy who wants to live in Liverpool. No, I like up north. I think I lived in Manchester and that. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice town. I'd live here again, but you know, for what you're paying in London, it isn't. I'm born and raised London. I'm starting to think it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Where's your option then? Not if it's not Runcorn. Where would we? I'm not going to do London anymore. What are you going to do? What are you going to? Yeah.
Yeah. Or I just go somewhere wild and shit. Just go Switzerland. Fuck it. Let's just
circuits on it.
Yeah. Let's go or Amsterdam. I think about going to Amsterdam once when I was like about 24. I thought about going to Amsterdam, but I realized for me to pay rent, I would have to fly back to England 5 days a week.
There are comics that do that, not from Amsterdam, because I think
lives in Paris, doesn't he?
I think you might miss a few flights if you live in Amsterdam. Like, I've got a weekend in Edinburgh, but I fucking missed it by 6 days. Damn you, Amsterdam, with your local produce.
Ian Moore lives in Paris, doesn't he? And he commutes back and forth.
He doesn't live in Paris. He lives in like a farmland in Paris, in France. Like, he lives out there. It's not even like he lives in metropolitan.
I can imagine you living in Amsterdam. You love Amsterdam. You love the comedy club there, don't you? Too,
yeah. But I can only play there maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And that doesn't pay like
that wouldn't even pay my rent.
Yeah. It's not like, I do a gig there and it's 40 grand. Like, it's, you know, it's just club money.
Yeah, and if you think industry don't come to Liverpool and Runcorn, they're probably not coming to Amsterdam.
Yeah. I don't know, but up north, I think Manchester's the only one. I couldn't live in Birmingham.
No, Manchester's good for you, like under normal circumstances for UK comedians, because it's actually right in the middle of the whole country. If you include Scotland as the country, which we shouldn't because they're independent. But
not yet. It's coming though.
It's right. It's so easy to get to everywhere. Everywhere is like 2 hours away, isn't it?
Well, I lived in Manchester for 10 years and it was handy as fuck. I only pussied out just because I got old and wanted to be like, I want a garden. But it is.
Now moved to one of the only cities in the UK that doesn't have a comedy club.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I'm 40 minutes away from every gig in the Northwest, aren't you? That's the thing. If you live in the Northwest, really, like London is so sprawling and so difficult to get round, apart from like, obviously there's the underground and everything. But if you lived in Runcorn, you're as handy for Liverpool, Manchester, all of the gigs in the Northwest as you would be living in any part of London, getting to gigs in London. It's like, that's the trade-off, isn't it? As long as you've got a fucking car, you can get all around the Northwest really easy.
It's quality of life though, isn't it? Because like you could get
to a 7-bedroom house for 300 quid a month.
But it's like just to get to gigs in the Northwest.
I know.
I could get to a gig in Chester. Fuck. Get into a gig in Chester, guys.
You want to live in London with all this culture? I can make Warrington in 23 minutes. Come on, Jamali, think about it.
And it's 20-minute gig, and I don't really want a gig in Warrington anyway.
If you move to Manchester, you fucking will, my friend. You'll be like Warrington. You'll be doing all of the shit Northwest comedy. Like, who's drinking?
When I lived in Manchester, I couldn't get any work in the Northwest.
Did you start in Manchester?
No, I started in London, but I moved to Manchester because I heard there was all this gig in the Northwest. And nobody wanted to book me. So I kept on having to get the train back from London.
So you were
No, I came
commuting
back
to
from
London
Yeah.
to get London
Why?
gigs.
to do weekend spots at Comedy Caf.
What? Why
Yeah.
weren't you getting
I
work?
love the cafe, you know. Did you do the comedy cafe?
Never done the comedy
With
calf.
no Faulkner. He was crazy, man.
Yeah.
He's a legend. He's like an Irish
I've
guy.
mentioned him on the podcast before on the very first Steph episode. So right now we're talking about Noel. I can smell his breath. Do you know what I mean? He had
Real.
a very distinctive, and he had a bit of a click. He'd done too many drugs and he was just a bit
No, he's born
dead
like that.
sound.
You know? Yeah, born like that.
Yeah,
He's got,
was he?
He's got, what's it called? What's the thing with Tourette's?
Was he really?
Yeah, Tourette's,
I thought
yeah.
it was a drug thing.
No, it's Tourette's.
Oh,
But he
fuck.
did do a lot of drugs. He done like because he didn't. I don't want to speak his thing, but I think it's out there. He used to do like he got kicked out of America or some shit for he was doing drug running or some shit.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like a boat guy.
That's not a good thing to. When you've got Tourette's,
Yeah.
you don't think drug running. You know when you've got like 9 kilos of cocaine in the back of a car, be like, fuck, coke, fuck, shit. Like,
He was a good dude, man. I remember he was a mad guy. I remember one time he booked me for weekends and I didn't have 20 minutes. And I said to him, I've only got 40 minutes. Where he goes, well, you better sort it out. You're on next. And I came back the next week.
get your pad out.
Yeah.
Quick 6 minutes.
And I came back the next week and I was like, you know what? I think I've got a 20 now. He goes, good, you're closing. And he made me close
Oh
gigs.
my God.
And
I
was
love shit
"You're
like
in
that
it."
though. Like I was like he booked me, so I'd emailed like everyone. I was trying to get London gigs without ever doing the open mic circuit in London, and I had a couple. I got in top secret quite early. I got really lucky with how I got in there. But I emailed him and was like, and I sent this full. When you start out, you send this full fucking life story email, don't you?
Yeah.
I started
I
here.
won
to
the
West Ham.
flying pig competition.
And I can wear shoes really well, and I know places and colours. It's really like
I got to
overly
the
done.
clap off at Barry Chuckle Hunt's Gong Show last week, and this massive life story. And he replied and said, "I like people from Liverpool. Scousers are funny. Yet you're in." And he put me in for a weekend just because I was Scouse.
Yeah, and he would do stuff. I remember one time I was there and someone was talking about shitting on stage and he goes, he'll never work my club again. And I go, why? He goes, because he's talking about shitting. You don't talk about shitting in my club. Andy's wearing blue jeans. And I go, I'm wearing blue jeans. And he goes, yeah, but it's different. So that was his logic and that was it. And
It's so funny when you don't like someone's comedy or them, how you just find
Justify
reasons
it,
to be
yeah,
pissed
yeah,
off with them. But as soon as you like someone, you're like, yeah, he just pooed on the stage, but that closing bit's fucking great.
One of the few, like we've talked a lot about comedy on the 90 odd episodes we've done of this. We haven't really delved into the world of fucking crazy promoters because there's so many promoters who are just a bit Noel's one of them. One of my favourite clubs, which is the one I see you at the most now, is Top Secret Comedy Club in London,
Mark
which
Rothman,
you've
yeah.
mentioned. Mark's amazing, but he's fucking mental. This is how
Who runs it?
Mark Rothman, isn't it? His
Right.
name, and he compares it. He does the bar.
Always the first sign of the mental promoter, isn't it? Like, I don't need a compare. I'll compare.
Well,
You're like, okay.
He started the club to get gigs because
Good on
no
him.
one was booking him. And
like
it's
it.
now grown into one of the best comedy clubs in the fucking world. He does the bar. He shoos the smokers away from his door. He does the sound. He does the voice. He does everything. Mark's like,
He builds shit in there as well. Like he built the toilets.
yeah.
Shit like that. Yeah.
He's, you know, like Binti or Hot Water?
Yeah.
It's like if Binti compared and did the bar. He's like Bugs Bunny. He's
And
like, he's
did the
everywhere.
door,
You've seen
and
that
did
episode
the-
of Friends where it's like, first Big Alan, you know that? Like he's just all like you look everywhere. You're like he's on the bar.
Outfit on. He wears a hat at the bar. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's always like a different character. Yeah.
But I got into Top Secret when it was in the Africa Centre, which was its first venue.
What?
There's a place in London in Covent Garden called the Africa Centre, and they had a room in there.
What a random place to start.
I was in London to do a tryout at Sway for jonglers, right? And I just walked past Top Secret, and I was popping my head in, say that I'm a comic. I was only like 2 years in. I was like, I'll just say I'm a comic and just wondering how to get spots. So I popped my head in and went to, hey mate, you're all right? I'm Adam, I'm a comedian. He was like, yeah. Move out the way. And I was like, what? And he goes, I've got customers, just get in. So I was like, right. And then he cleared the queue and I went, yeah, so nice to meet you. My name's Adam, I'm a comic. He went, yeah. So have I booked you? And I went, no. And he went, oh, so why are you here? And so I was just coming to introduce myself and I'm doing jonglers like around the corner. He went, are you doing jonglers? Oh, do you want to get on? And I went, yeah, go on then. So before I went and did jonglers, I just accidentally did this gig at Top Secret. And then I had a really good gig and he came up and he went, send us your dates. What have you got? And he got his laptop out and he's like, yeah, so when do you want to come back? And I was like, in 3 weeks? And he was like, yeah.
And by the way, if you're a young comic trying to make your way in the game, that's not usually how it goes. Don't be like, that's what I've been doing wrong. I've been emailing people. What I'll do is just turn up. Be like, hi, Comedy Store. Can I get on?
Yeah, it's just mad.
I love that story. And I love the fact you want to gig for gigs like the Glee, which is very professional. The Store, very professionally run. But you love the nutcases. The nutcases make it exciting. Like that guy, it obviously sounds a bit mental, but he's got one of the most successful clubs in the country, and that shit's adorable, isn't it?
And his stairway, if you go down the stairs to get into Top Secret, now it's just every photo on the wall is like a huge celebrity that's played it. So like Jamali's on the wall. There's like
it gets better from there.
Huge,
it gets better from there. Don't worry.
And all the other people who turned up and said hello.
Yeah, it gets better from there. Don't worry. It does. It's a better list than
There's
that.
John Bishop, Chowdhury, Manford, Jack Whitehall, Amy Schumer,
Gerard
Eliza
Carmichael.
Schlesinger, Michelle Wolf. Like they've had everyone drop in, and occasionally, like I've turned up there before to close and gone, "Who's been on?" And they've gone, "Oh, Paul Chowdhury opened, Jack Whitehall's just in the middle. Have a good gig, right?"
Okay.
But one night, so this is. He just, if someone's in town from America, he wants them on the wall. So do you know who TJ Miller is? Have you seen Deadpool?
Yeah.
You know the bartender?
Yeah.
So that's TJ Miller. He's a stand-up.
Yeah.
So he goes to I'm due to close and he goes, right, TJ Miller wants to come down. He's Jack Whitehall's mate. So he's put him in touch and he's going to go on after you've closed. We're just going to say, I've got a special guest. So just do 10 minutes and wrap up. And then we'll get TJ, because he'll be here in a minute. So just get you on, you do 10, and then TJ got it. So I go on stage and I get 10 minutes in and I go, right, guys, that's just my time. And from the back he goes, no, he's not coming. I just had to carry on. I take the mic back out. I was like, oh, he's not coming. They were like, who was it? I was like, I can't tell you that now.
Were people excited that you were staying longer, or were they just sort of ambivalent about it?
I think they were sort of like, oh, we were so, like, we enjoyed you, mate, but we were done.